Since you clicked on this video, you probably have what I like to call one-day dreams. One day I'll make content. One day I'll take the acting class. One day I'll make music. Whatever it is, a one-day dream is a dream without a deadline. But these are so dangerous because that day may never come. You may wait around your whole life with these one-day dreams. And I know this because this is how I used to be. Oh, one day I'll make content. This is literally like what thoughts that I've had. One day I'll do stand-up comedy. The reason I'm talking about this is because these are thoughts that I've had. But the more that I've actually just tried even small things to put myself out there, to get started on these dreams, the better I've felt. Even though, yeah, of course it's uncomfortable when you're first starting out because it's not going to be necessarily good if it's your first video or like your first time getting on stage or like your first acting class, whatever it is, it's your first time doing it. Of course it's not going to be amazing. You're literally just getting started. You haven't practiced at all. So it's like you're comparing your first time to a professional. The way to get started is you understand that it may not be good at first, but if you try to get better consistently, it will get better over time. And as it gets better over time, you start to feel meaning and you start to feel like you're actually accomplishing things that you said you would do. And that's how you build confidence, is you do things that you said you would do. So if you want to get started, you have these big goals, then break it down to the next step. You don't have to jump into things right away. Like let's say you want to be a content creator. What is the next step? Well, the next step might be making your account public so that your family can see it. That was the first step for me. I used to block all of my family members. They would never see anything about my life, but I knew I wanted to be a content creator. So I had to add them on social media first because they're going to see the videos if I post it publicly, right? So it's like whatever it is, that's the next step. Break it down to that. Take that next step and prove to yourself that you're going to do what you said you would do, that these dreams are not just dreams, they're actually goals that you're actually acting towards. Put a deadline on your actions and try and be as consistent as you can, and don't beat yourself up if you don't hit your deadlines. Of course, it's not easy to do these things. The reason that not everyone's making a ton of money from content creation, and it's only the people who are posting consistently who are making the money from it, is because it's not that easy to do it, right? It's hard to deal with the judgment of other people. There's always going to be negatives, but that's why people don't do it. But it's also what makes it valuable. So if you want to get started on something, just break it down to the next step and do that. And you might have to be humble with yourself. Like the next step might literally be just adding your family members on social media, because that's what it was for me, right? Or maybe it's recording a video, showing it to a friend, or maybe it's posting a video. Whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you're showing to yourself that you're actually committed to this, then you'll start to make progress. And as you make progress, you can get a lot better. Because if you get 1% better every day, by the end of the year, you become 37 times better. Not 37%, 3,700%. So you become almost unrecognizable in this skill, whatever it is. So you just have to get started and try and focus on getting better consistently. And then you'll see rapid improvement in your skills. It may not be in the results, but it will improve in your skills, right? I'm not saying you're going to get 3,700 times more followers if you post videos, but you will get 3,700 times better if you get better 1% every single day. Like that's the statistics. So the more you do this, the easier it gets. But it's so hard at first because you almost have to feel like you're stepping into a new identity. You have to make a vision for who you want to be and what that person does, and then break it down to actionable steps that you would actually do. You have to bridge the gap between who you are today and who you want to be. And if you bridge that gap, the way to bridge it is those small steps and being consistent with that. So if you have these big goals, first, understand you have an obligation to yourself to follow them, then break it down to the smallest next step and do that consistently. And as you do that consistently, you'll start to see that progress. And if that's not working for you, then maybe you need like a real wake up call moment. Maybe you need to have this like shift in yourself where you're just like, you know what? I hate this. I'm going to change everything about my life. Sometimes that really wakes people up when they get to a point where they're just like, you know what? I'm not trying to even get 1% better. I'm just going to change everything all at once and be consistent. This actually works for some people where they're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to record videos. It is more difficult to do those things. But if you're like, I'm done living this life that I've lived before and I want to become like a new person, then that could work for you. But since you clicked on this video, you've already admitted to yourself that you have these big goals. So at least take the small steps that show to yourself that you're actually going to do what you said you would do, that you're actually going to make progress towards this. And of course, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be days where you miss your goals and you don't do the small steps and you don't get 1% better. Of course, that's going to happen. And you won't feel perfect doing this either. Like, you'll feel uncomfortable. Of course, you'll feel uncomfortable. You're leaving your comfort zone. When you leave your comfort zone, you feel uncomfortable. So I'm not saying that this is going to be easy, but I am saying that I think it'll be worth it. Life's not easy, but it's worth it. Take care.